Welcome, everybody, to the glorious episode of the Signal Caller. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, along with the Solo Lopez. Check us out on Twitter at the Solo Lopez, and then also at PORSBR is my Twitter handle. So the draft is coming up upon us. A lot of different things. Coming up. This is a big week. I got a lot of stuff coming on at the beginning of next week as we get closer and closer to the draft. Was it 13 days, 12 days to the draft? So it's coming up pretty quickly. It's always an exciting time. We are waiting to hear that ESPN little chime every time somebody gets picked. So that should be fun as well. We have done some mock drafts before, and I'll do one the next episode. But this one here is this draft is what Solo would do with if he was the general manager of the Raiders. So if you
Would
want
be nice.
would be, would be nice. Just the paycheck alone would be nice. But if you want to go back and check some of his live drafts, that's where he drafts, right before the Raiders pick with who's available. They are pretty spot on. So I would definitely check those out on his Twitter. But hey,
And we'll be doing another one actually for real live as well.
yes, yeah, we're doing a live one too as well. So on draft night, so that's going to be fun as well. So cool. Let's just get started, and I have Solo. I'm gonna press the button to start the draft, and I'll tell him who's available. Cool, and I'm gonna pause it right now. Right now, Cam went first. Abdullah went second. The Missouri offensive tackle went third. Travis went to the Patriots, and then Mason Graham went to the Jaguars. So
It's an easy pick right here. There's no other option for the Raiders.
there's no other option. But I just want to give you the trade options too, though, because
Okay.
the Niners want to give you the 11th, the 43rd, and the 147 for the sixth pick right now. Are you passing on that opportunity?
So that's the 11th and their second as well.
Yes, and what number and number four and number 147.
Is there any other thing? Is there any other draft offer?
There is another draft offer where the Raiders would give up six to the Bucks for 1953 and 84, and then a second and a third in 2006.
Oh, that's big. To go back to 19?
Go back to 19.
If there was a first involved in some of those, I would consider it. But in this situation here, with Shadur on the board right now, I don't want to mess around.
The last
Raiders.
one, the last one
Oh,
is
yeah. Is there another one?
one more. You have the Panthers at 8 and 74 to go to 6.
So that's they move up to 6. They give me their third.
Yep. The Jets are behind you.
Yep.
So if you want,
Yeah, because that's right there. Might take Shadur.
yeah.
So the Panthers, who's on the board right now?
Let's see here. So we got you got Campbell, you got Genty, you got Johnson, you got Sanders, you got Tet, you have Warren, Jalen Walker, Shamar Stewart, Kelvin Banks, and then you have Matthew Golden. I can't if I go any lower, then I'll get out of the trade offer. They won't let me
No,
go.
that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. The top, those are top 10 people anyway in that regard. So if I did do this, I'd risk losing Shadur to 7,
Yes.
but I would still likely have Tet or Ginty there at 8.
Yes.
Just for a third rounder, I don't want to risk it.
Okay. So reject.
So I'm going to take Shadur Sanders here. It's the crux of the entire organization is that they don't draft quarterbacks in the first round, and they need to. I've waited a long time for this, so I'm not going to pass up on the opportunity. They're likely going to be able to get their same player at that number 8 spot anyway, which I imagine what they'll do, which is probably going to be Tet or Ginty. So I'm going to go Shadur Sanders at 6 here.
Genty went to the Saints, by the way, in this model.
Oh, nice.
Which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Parker handoff, and that'll work. All right, so we get into the second round here. And then Jackson Dart went 32nd in this model.
Oh, did someone trade up?
Somebody traded up and got the Cleveland traded up. All right.
Oh,
Cleveland traded up. Cleveland traded up.
that's
So,
beautiful.
but you know,
Wow. Good for
if you,
them.
but like, just like lesson I learned last week, if you waited, you know what I mean. If you waited, he wouldn't have been there.
Yeah. If I had
Yeah,
waited, yeah.
yeah. So
Hmm.
right. So the Raiders have the 37th pick. The Bengals want to give you the 39th pick, the 49th pick for and a second in 2026.
Um, the Bengals want to give me so I'm moving back 12 spots and I'm getting an extra second next year.
Yes. And the other
Is that
offer and the other offer is a 46 number 46 from the Falcons. And then you get a two you get a 26 pick in second year and second round pick next year. But you're giving them 143 this year and 37.
so? The difference is two picks difference between the trade offers,
Yeah,
but I'm not giving up any compensation for the first one.
exactly. The first one
And
is
who's the top 10 on the board?
top 10 on the board right now. You have oh shit, you're not making this trade. You're not making this trade. I know why, but I can tell you why. Nolan, Hampton, Williams, Monroe,
It's
Grant.
Hampton.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I
yeah.
reject all,
Yeah,
reject all.
that's easy.
No, we've had conversations, folks, about this. So
Mhm.
I knew when Hampton was available here at
Yeah.
37 that for
Hampton is
sure.
in my Hampton, in my opinion, is a first round talent. I think he's going to go in the first
Yeah.
round in the 20s. If he's there at 37, I think that's an absolute steal for a team that needs a running back.
And
Yeah.
the Jets picked up Milrow on the in the
Mm,
second round. So
in the
interesting.
second? Oh
Second
wow.
round.
Okay.
Interesting. That's probably the most athletic quarterback room in the league.
Ever.
With him
Ever.
with him in Fields. My God. All right, so we're rolling up on number
So in
six.
this mock draft simulator that in this one I'm doing as well, they picked Milrow as well in the second. That's interesting.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, it's fun. It's funny. So you got 68, and then the only offer you have is to pick up a third in 2026, and go back all the way to 87 from the Packers.
The 87 and I picked 68. Hmm.
That's a
Who's on the
lot.
board? Give me the top 10.
All right. So we got Mimbo, we got Alo Alojo from UCLA. You got Darius Alexander, Darian
What
Porter.
what about Princely?
Prince, I can't go back that far.
Okay.
If like again, oh no, hold on. I can hide it. I can hide it. I can hide it actually. Let me go
Okay.
here. Let me hide it. So it's Prince. I think Princely's gone. I think Princely's gone. I don't see him.
Yeah.
He's edge, right?
Yeah, he's an edge from Ole Miss.
Yeah, he's. I can probably tell you where he went to. Hold on, let me see. Draft results. Princely, he went in the second round somewhere. Every model I do has him going in the second round. Second round to the Falcons.
Who are my wide receivers?
Available.
Yeah.
Okay. You got the guy everybody wants now, Kyle Williams from Washington State, Jack Betch, Tez Johnson, and Torrey Horton from Colorado State
Yeah. That means Restrepo's still available, right?
at 105. Well,
Yeah.
overall,
Um, man, that's tough to pass on Kyle Williams right here
yeah.
in the third. What about guard?
Fairchild, Frazier,
Frazier. Yeah.
Slater.
Okay. Well, I think that's tough. I think the value pick is Kyle Williams, so that's where I'm gonna go.
Okay. The Raiders are improving themselves here with this draft pick. So let's go Kyle
We're getting this
Williams.
offense going.
Yep. Right. And then the needs for the Raiders they have listed as cornerback, running back, wide receiver, safety, and defensive tackle. So
Yeah. Hmm. In this mock, the Seahawks took Lathan Ransom, the safety, with the Raiders pick they got from Gino.
The Chiefs. It's funny you said that name because the Chiefs just took him in this model. The Chiefs just took him.
Interesting.
So we're going to 108.
108.
And we got Savion Williams. We got oh sorry, let me go to all. We got Demarius Knight Jr. You got Joshua Farmer, Billy Billy Bowman. You just let me know what position you want me to go to. I can go to that position.
Corner.
Corner, defensive corner. You got Zy Alexander. You also have Kobe Bryant. You have Jacob Parrish, Quincy Riley.
I think Zai is a great pick here. I don't think he'll be here in the real life at 108. I'm going Zai Alexander from LSU.
So we got Zy Alexander. Yeah, these guys make this look so hard on TV. It's not that hard.
I know, right?
Um,
Come on, it's just not hard at all. You guys
I
overthink
think
it. It's just
I,
overthinking it.
I think sometimes they got too many got too many cooks in the kitchen too.
Like
So
every
yeah.
year.
I'm just saying overall, like the draft room is
Yeah,
filled with people. It's like, dude,
yeah,
the GM and the assistant GM and like the owner, that's pretty much all you really need in the room, I guess.
yeah.
But we'll say.
A lot
But
of the time, you don't even need the owner because a lot of times they mess that up.
yeah, that's true. All right. So we are in the fifth round at pick 143.
Is
So
Stutzman there?
who?
Danny Stutzman, linebacker from Oklahoma.
He is gone.
What about Cody Simon?
Cody Simon is available. It's amazing how I love Cody Simon, but you want him? Do
What
you
about Bassa?
who?
Bassa?
Bassa is ranked 20 at 200th right now.
Okay, so Bassa and Simon are there.
Yeah.
What about my edge rushers? What are we looking at? Jared Ivey?
Jared Ivey is available. Ole Miss is gonna have
Okay.
Ole Miss is gonna have the most players drafted in this year's draft.
Yeah. Go to running backs.
You would. You got Martinez, you got Sampson, you got RJ Harvey.
Harvey's the pick.
Harvey's the pick. One
Here at
four
143. Yeah, that
one
Harvey.
143 at 143 because he's a 130 140. So you got
Oh, really? That's where they have him at?
that's what
That's
they have
funny.
him at. That's funny. So him, and then let's see your picks so far. Yeah, that backfield is looking pretty chunky right now. I th-
Hampton and Harvey.
I would take that. I would take the Raiders had that backfield going into this year. I'd be very happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
Very happy with that. And you have a veteran there too who can spell. Cody Simon went to the Niners. Of
Oh,
course he
did he?
did. Yes, of course he did. Because
Yeah.
they they get linebackers. My whole life, the Niners have I had good
Well,
linebackers. They don't
then there's a
play.
good chance that Box is going to be there at 180 then.
Let's see. Oh man. Okay, so let's see what he got. So let's see if Bassa is there. Bassa is there. Which you want to get him
That's
at
a
one
pick
A?
for me.
That's a pick. One
Yeah, I
A.
like Bassa a lot.
Bassa, good leader, good player.
I think it's a good trade-off to be able to solidify the running back room with two young studs with Harvey and Hampton there to go along with with Mostert who's going to be the
Yes,
spellback.
I agree. I agree.
And as opposed to losing Harvey, going Simon on our last pick, and then trying to figure out the pairing of the running backs later.
Yep. You were getting to that point. I do like Bashard Smith who went to the Jets as well too.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah.
All right. So we got I don't let me know what position group you want to attack right now. You're at 213 right now.
What quarterbacks are left?
Quarterback. Oh, okay. Doubling up. We got Rourke, we got Brosmer, Brady Cook,
Brady
Cam
Cook. Yeah.
Brady Cook. You want Brady Cook?
No, there's nobody
Oh,
left.
there's
From
nobody
that
left.
list, that means Graham Mertz is probably available, like Donovan Smith and
Yeah.
DJ Uiagalelei, those guys. I'm not going to pick up another quarterback. I think that's a waste.
It's a waste, yeah.
What about wide receivers?
Prancer from Maryland, and then you also got Wells from Ole Miss, and you got Jimmy Horn from Colorado, and then Ja'Cory Brooks from Illinois.
Yeah, that's tough. Aronde
And
Gaston's gone, right? From tight end.
and then you also don't forget you have 213 and 215.
That's right. Is Joshua Gray available? Guard, Oregon State.
No, I got Lumpkin, the undersized guy. You got Xavier.
Willie Lampkin.
Yeah, Xavier Trust, Cooper Mays. And then you getting deep into the weeds with
Yeah, I may have
Addison
waited too
West.
long for offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Holland Pierce from Rutgers, tackle.
No, the highest rated one I have left is going to be Carson Vincent from Alabama A&M from HBCU.
Tough, man, tough. I may have waited too long. Who's there for D tackle? Is Howard Cross there?
Howard Cross from Notre Dame is there. Ty Robinson, Vernon Brockton, Ty Hamilton, and Tyron Dawkins.
I like Hamilton a lot, but I really like Cross. Let's go Cross there. We have a pick, 2 picks later, don't we?
Yep. So Howard Cross
Okay.
is the pick. And then 215, what we got?
Is Jimmy Horn still left on the wide receiver board?
Jimmy Horn is still left.
Yeah, let's go Jimmy Horn.
Jimmy Horn. All right.
I like legacy picks.
Let's go and let's go to the. All right, 222. So we got we're at 222. What are we looking at here for positions?
Corner.
So do you want you would you know your picks right now that you already picked, right? You already know the picks you have already, right? The guys you
Yeah,
picked already.
so
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Sanders, Hampton, Williams, Zay Alexander, Harvey, Bosa, Howard Cross the third, and then Jimmy Horn Jr.
Jimmy Horn.
Okay.
What about Craig Woodson? Safety, California?
Hello wants this guy on the Raiders really bad. So
Does he?
yes, he does. He wants on the Raiders
I like
really
Craig
bad.
Woodson.
Okay, so Craig Woodson is the pick at 222.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so Craig Woodson. Yeah, he keeps bringing it up every time we have a space. So
Is it?
he's
I mean, for that late of a pick, I mean, if he's there,
yeah. Yeah,
he's really solid.
yeah. You taking a shot? Shiloh Sanders went to the
I thought
Dolphins.
about it. I thought about that there too, and in the seventh for Shiloh.
You know, my guy, Woody Marks went to the Bears. Good pickup for the
Oh
Bears.
yeah,
Lampkin went to the Cowboys. Wells, let's see here.
Lampkin went to the Cowboys.
It's the Cowboys.
That's a five foot
Undersized.
11 tackle, right?
That's it. That's it is. Yes, it is. So we got Sanders. We got Shador Sanders at 6. We got Amari and Hampton at 37 at running back. The Raiders also in the solo draft here we picked Kyle Williams, the wide receiver everybody's going crazy for right now. Chris Sims says he's the best wide receiver in the draft, so we'll see. We also have Zay Alexander, RJ Harvey, Jeffrey Bosa, Howard
Yeah.
Cross the third. Is Howard Cross the former Giant? Is that dad or is that legacy pick there? I'm not sure if he is.
I'm not. I think it's a legacy pick. I'm not entirely too sure though. I think it is.
I think it is. And then we got Jimmy Horn Jr. And then from Cal, Bay Area, Yay area, Craig Woodson. So I mean, listen, it's a Woodson. We can't go wrong. Both Woodsons have already been good. So let's just. I love having both Woodsons on the team. They were great.
Whether it's Rod or Charles.
Yeah. I mean, who can forget? Who can forget Rod's ridiculous run back in that Bronco game, right? I mean, that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. I thought that game was over, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, we got the ball. He's going. I can't get this screen thing off, but we'll worry about that later. All right. Cool. Real quick, I just wanted to so this his next week I'll do mine. The one thing of discussion I wanted to talk about real quick is this the thirst to wait for 2026 to draft the quarterback.
Oh, for quarterbacks. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm thinking that there is a list of really good prospects possibly there. I would say again, and I'll reiterate it and over and over again, is many people, just me myself, if you could go back and take a seat next to Michael J. Fox in the DeLorean and go back in time, most folks would go back to their college years. It was fun as hell. It was great. It was just like the best time you ever had in your life. So, and I remember an interview with what was it, the great Viking wide receiver, not Randy Moss, the other Chris Carter.
Chris
And,
Carter.
Chris Carter, and they asked him and they asked him in an interview, hey, if you could go back to go play, where would you go? He said, oh, Ohio State in a second. Like college is
Mm,
incredible. So like, and then now these dudes are getting paid legally in college. Like they're not rushing. They're not going to rush. They're not going to rush. So no, they're
yeah.
taking their time. Like if Aller, even with his like young, youthful, like, somebody would have drafted Aller in the top 5 and said, "You're going to sit for 2 years." Like you know what I mean? And guess what? He would have been 22 because he's working right now is only 20. Same thing with Nussmeier, all the other guys. Like they're not gonna rush. And I think also when it comes to, I'll let you go real quick. I think when it comes to Manning too, Manning kind of has to stay a couple seasons. Like he's sat for a
I
couple.
think he's going to stay
Yeah,
two. I
yeah,
think he's going to stay two
he's
seasons.
yeah, he's coming from the 4 car garage family. Like
Mhm.
he's not rushing to come out.
Okay, so in terms of the waiting until next year,
Yeah,
it makes no sense to me why people continuously believe that kicking the can down the road on this situation is a better deal for the Raiders. We just did this last year. Oh well, we got Brock Bowers. He's a generational talent. We're going to get a quarterback next year, and here we are next year, and now everybody's like, this quarterback class is not good. Let's wait till next year. It's going to be way better. Well, if the plan is to win now, and the Raiders are likely going to win 8 to 9 games minimum next year with an easy schedule, and with a scheme and a coaching scheme that generally works to get you up to at least 8 or 9 wins, then that means you're making it actively harder for yourself to even get one of those guys. So if you want to keep talking about the excuses that, well, we can't get any of the top 3 guys from last year's draft, right? And those were the only guys that mattered. Well, it really wasn't, because Bo Nix was a Pro Bowl playoff leading, a quarterback, and he went right 1 pick right in front of the Raiders. So you can't just say, well, there's only going to be 2 guys worth getting in a draft. It's like that. You just don't know enough to make those types of calculations. Like nobody does. Even the guys in charge of these teams don't know that. They don't know that this is only going to be a 1 quarterback draft. I think there's 3 first round quarterbacks in this draft right now. I think Jackson Dart is a fringe first round talent, but I think he's going to go in the first round guaranteed. I do not see him going into the second round. But I legitimately think Shadir and Cam Ward are first round talents. So if they're first round talents in that regard, then you have to take that as a first round grade, no matter where you're picking, or if it's 6, or if you trade back, or whatever the case may be. The impact of that quarterback is so much greater than that. So if you're just waiting around, you're putting yourself in a worse position, because you're at the highest position you're likely going to be over the next couple of years to try to get a quarterback. And it just makes that much more sense to try to get it and get it out of the way. And like I said, I don't think it's going to happen now, because they extended Geno and they traded him and they're talking up big and all that.
yeah,
Frankly, I think it's a waste of everybody's time. It's just a waste of everybody's time.
yeah.
If the ceiling for Geno Smith is a 10-win season with no playoff wins, that is not the goal of what an organization should be. But it's the goal of the Raiders for some reason, to keep putting these journeyman plug-and-play starters in at quarterback and not taking it seriously to lay the foundation of an actual quarterback-driven team where your best player is quarterback. And that's just never the case with the Raiders.
I
And
would
that's the
say,
reason why they haven't won a playoff game in over 2 decades.
yeah. And for me, like I like my only like if this would be if they have Gino and they have Gino and they actually draft Shador, Dart later on, trading up into the first round, whatever. Like that would be for me would be like that would be like that would be it. That would be like, okay, fine. They took a step into the into the real world here. So that would be what I would do. Listen, take a shot at the quarterback. This is draft. You can take the shot. Like, you know what I mean? So we'll see. I understand what they're doing with Gino. I wish they would. I thought maybe they wouldn't go. They probably go with like a Smith. Or probably go with Winston or somebody else. But
Yeah.
because they don't control. I don't think the Raiders would be. Maybe they would still make this move even if they own like the second pick in the draft. just so they have somebody who can play right now. And then because Tom Brady talked about how he doesn't want to rush a quarterback. If you ever draft a quarterback, I think quarterbacks get rushed too much to play. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, just I mean, I need a first round quarterback on their rookie deal, and hopefully they do that right now. I don't think they can't really screw up the pick because if Shador goes goes 2 or goes 3, then there's
Well,
off for
they
9.
can screw up the pick. They can.
They
Because just because we have five guys on the board at that point that we think are going to be can't miss prospects
mm,
at 6 if Shadir goes ahead of them,
yeah.
doesn't mean that they're not looking at Kelvin Banks at 6 and we get
That's true.
swerved.
That's true.
So I'm just saying, like, oh, well, why don't we
Oh
take Mason Graham? Well, wait a minute. Derek
my
Harmon is there. Why don't we say, have you seen Harmon's tape? And then we get everybody confirming the pick with their
take him
confirmation bias.
take him at 6. I mean, I like Harmon, but
Yeah.
taking him at 6 would be hilarious. They did that.
That's what I'm saying, though. I mean,
Yeah. They still
Seahawks
could.
once took James Carpenter in the first round.
They still,
I mean, that guy
yeah,
had like a fourth round grade on him or whatnot. It was
yeah.
bad.
That's true.
So
That's
it's
true.
like
That's
you
true.
just never know. Like there's no benefit that we can give the Raiders
Yes.
organization.
Oh
I don't care
no
who
no
in
no.
charge.
100%. 100%.
Oh,
No,
you mean Ted and Ashton Jeanty are there? Or oh my God, Will Johnson's there? I can't believe this. Like we got it made now. And then the Raiders select the number 6. Matthew Golden. So you just never know.
You never know.
So
I should have. I should have. Yes, that's true. That yes, the Raiders can screw this up, so they still get. But
yeah,
I'm gonna. But until like I said, like here's when you're a long time assistant GM, like Spytek is. We don't. Nobody knows what he like. Everybody, what guys are in that position, they probably have little books and say, "Hey, this is what I would do in my when it's my turn." So we'll see we'll see what he does when it's his turn. All right.
the general manager notes.
Yeah. I mean, everybody. I mean, if I had a high ranking job like that, I would do the same thing. I'd be like, okay, this is what he did, so this is what I would probably do, and then
Yeah, you have to prep for every scenario while you're learning.
Or he was like, oh, he killed this, he killed this whole thing. Let me just make sure, like, if I ever in that position, I'll do what I gotta do too. So we'll see.
Yeah, the idea of waiting another year for a quarterback and getting another year into someone's contract and getting another year closer to when you have to make Brock Bowers the highest paid tight end in football. It's just
the cost.
I hate it.
Yeah, the cost. I don't think. I mean, in our simulation, Jackson Dart went to the he went to the last pick in the first round. Like the cost to go from that spot would not be bad. Like, you know what I mean? For the Eagles to drop from where they are to go to the second round.
To go from 32 to 37.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a big deal. They'll probably draft an all-star there because of the freaking Eagles.
And especially when it's tied to the Raiders, when it's some player that the Raiders would pass on.
Yeah, seriously. So but I don't think I do think it's possibly 4 quarterbacks in the first round. But I definitely think three quarterbacks will be in the first round. No question about it.
You think Milrow?
I think the league likes Milrow more than we do, and I think Milrow could just come in and just sit. Like, if he can come in and sit for a couple of years, I do think with his
if he gets drafted to the Browns, they're not sitting him. He will play next year.
No, I know. No, I know. I think no, but I do think the Browns are in on Cousins badly. So I do think
that makes sense.
So I do think, but because like it'll be different than Cousins. Penix is different because Penix is older and ready to play. Where I think he is not ready to play. So I think he's ready. I think he's ready to play the NFL at all. But I mean, you can have some wildcat stuff in there for him and have some stuff like that for around the goal line if you wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that right now. All right, Ray Nation. Cool. Next week will be mine, and then I got Tape Don't Lie, Marcus Johnson coming on next week as well to talk about the draft. I got some other gifts coming on. This is the busy team. Ryan is if you don't know, Ryan is a scout for Major League Baseball, so this is the busiest time of his year, so that's why he's not around. So we'll try to get him on next week as well too. And then we have Spaces on Wednesday, and then Nonsense. Don't let them fool you. He has some sense. He's an East Coaster. He's all right. He's all right.
Patriots fan.
He's a Patriot fan. Whatever it is. But he will be Sunday mornings on Twitter We will definitely. I'll put the link in the bio. He is. We will. We'll be talking about the wide receivers in the draft as well. All right. Cool. All right. See you next time, Solo. Take care.
Take care, guys. Go
Peace.
Raiders.
Go Raiders, as always.